Hey, what's up, players? This is Hall of Famer Teddy Long, and right now we're getting ready to have a six-pack challenge match with Potsy and Tino on the big podcast show. Holla at a player.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings to you its tag team champions of the world, the Road Dogg, Tino Gray, the badass Rob Potsy Podcheck. As always, we are the Potsy and Tino Show. Our theme song, as always, is brought to you by Adam's House Cat until this dude actually writes us a song.
Something about that. Okay.
Well, we'll talk about it. Already got a comment out there.
Probably bear.
No, it's Joe Lowe. What's up? What's up, brother?
That's damn good.
I think I only had like 2 of them left. So.
Okay, I won't drink.
What?
I won't drink another one.
Then try a different one. But so, anyways, instead of having a conversation, let's go ahead. Tino and I haven't seen each other in a little while.
Yeah. That was last week.
Yeah, we did. We didn't do the show last week because I wanted to see John Wick for the first time.
Yeah.
I've seen it twice now. Want to see it again?
He's dumb.
So good, dude. It's so good. So I already said our theme song is brought to you by Adam's House Cat.
99.
It's available on iTunes for 99 cents. We obviously are on the road to WrestleMania. WrestleMania starts tomorrow, technically.
I'm like, dude, I can't even. It's time flew, dude. It seemed like it was just damn Christmas. And like I was sitting here, we were talking about it like a couple weeks ago. And we were like, yeah, so my friend of mine's her 40th birthday. I'm like, yeah, we're doing it on the 1st. I'm like, wait, something. I was like, fuck, that's WrestleMania weekend. So,
what's up, Michael? Yeah. So you got something to do night 1 of WrestleMania.
Yeah. So I'll probably get done teaching my class like at 12:30. So I already told Nicole it's wrestling weekend. So 1 o'clock, I'm sitting down and watching NXT, and then if we go out to eat, I'll come back and probably have to catch the
later version of
which, if it's over at midnight, I might as well just watch it like Sunday.
Yeah.
Get up early Sunday and watch it.
Yeah.
And then I'll come here Sunday afternoon.
Oh, shoot. Should we do predictions for Stand and Deliver as well?
Yeah, I forgot about that, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
We probably, I just realized too, next Thursday. We may have to.
The hell did you just knock over?
Nothing too bad, Phil. Maybe do a show earlier in the week, maybe Tuesday. Can't do Thursday. It's the wife's birthday. So her birthday's that Thursday, so maybe we can do, like I said, Tuesday or something. We'll get with you guys and let you know.
Yeah, we'll post it on at least my Twitter.
Yeah, so because like it's her birthday, I'm like which is cool. They're off spring break next week, so they're off all next week.
Joe Lowe's saying I won't spoil the ending, but what was my take on that ending? Well, Lionsgate wants them to make a 5th movie, so I'll leave it at that. Whatever the ending was. Of John Wick, yeah. So I'll go ahead and I'll tell you right now. Like, to me, I don't know about you, Joe, but I think that is one of the best action films I have ever seen.
Like ever?
Ever.
I've seen a lot. There's a lot of action movies.
Well, and I've seen a lot of action movies.
All right.
So So the whole series, you've watched them.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm assuming everybody out there has watched them. So I'll talk just generalization. The movies are about the 5 stages of grief.
Yes.
So the first one is depression and denial. The second one is
I don't think you had the bargaining.
Bargaining was the third one. The third movie is all about the bargaining.
Gotcha.
And then the 4th movie is about acceptance and consequence.
Okay.
So like, and I can't remember what the 3rd stage of grief is, but it was the 2nd movie.
I'll keep going. I'll check it out. Man.
Yeah.
I'm curious next place to know it.
Yeah, me too. I literally looked it up because the first one actually covers like 2 of them. And then the 2nd movie covers the 3rd one. The 3rd movie covers the 4th one. The 4th movie technically covers the 5th one. The series is, I mean, I've rewatched just in this past week. I've rewatched number 1 and number 2 after going to see number 4 twice. The ending, Joe, was perfect in certain ways, and like I said, because Lionsgate is already saying that they want a fifth movie now, it's one of those things where like you
said the second.
Well, I said it's
So
denial, depression.
No, denial, numbness and shock, bargaining, depression, anger, acceptance. That's the 5 stages.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, well, maybe they're not all in that order. But like the way I looked it up earlier this week, they were all in order, and it was like just the whole series though like has always been good, and a lot of people like. So I read this interview with Chad Stahelski, the director of it and co-creator of John Wick, and just to give some background on the guy, the guy Chad Stahelski was Keanu Reeves' stuntman in The Matrix. Okay. He has been one of the top stuntmen since he got his start making the movie The Crow. He was Brandon Lee's stunt double, and when Brandon Lee died, he's the one that actually stood in and they digitized his face. His partner, David Leitch, used to be Brad Pitt's stuntman.
Okay.
So that's why when they came out with Bullet Train, which was directed by David Leitch, who's the main star of that? Brad Pitt. And Brad Pitt also was in Deadpool 2, which was directed by David Leitch. So he was the invisible guy who, when he gets shocked and electrocuted, he's actually there, right? And he actually said that they made him wear a green screen costume so that when he's being interviewed and they can't see him, he's really there.
That's awesome.
They just digitized him out, which is like the opposite of what you're supposed to do with special effects, right? You're supposed to put stuff in. They took him out. But so they own a production studio called 8711 Productions, which I want to say it started in 1987. I want to say it started with 11. Like I don't know what the actual numbers actually mean, but it probably did start in 1987. That kind of makes sense. But when John Wick came around, you know, they had basically like gotten the idea, and then they wrote the script, and nobody in Hollywood wanted it. They were like, no, this is what? Why would we want a movie about a hitman whose wife dies, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, I'm not going to ruin like the worst part of the movies, which is, you know, right after his wife dies, what happens, right?
Oh, with the gift she got him.
Yeah. So they finally just sat there and said, fuck it, we'll direct it. And the reason why the film is so good isn't because of the story, isn't because of he literally said in his interview with Rolling Stone, he's like, the reason why these movies are so good is because you love Keanu. Mm. And the reason why you love Keanu is because he's so invested in the product. And it's like that with everything he does. It's not just this movie, right? Like every movie, like Point Break, he sat there and learned how to surf.
Bill and
Ted. He learned how to time travel. Probably learned how to play the guitar.
Yeah.
But you know, like all in all, and more and more that you consider it, like the whole John Wick thing, Stahelski basically said, I'm a stunt guy. So when it comes to directing stunt scenes, I know where the camera needs to be.
Yep.
So like that's why certain people aren't good at directing action, because they're not
stunt people.
And they've never done their own stunts.
That makes sense.
You know, like if you look at like the Mission Impossible movies now that Tom Cruise has been doing his own stunts, you can tell he's like I want a camera here, I want a camera, you know, like and of course he hires these big time action directors, which I'm kind of surprised they haven't gotten these two guys to sit there and direct his movies yet, because they know how to direct action, right? Like if I were to do Splinter Cell the movie, I would get these guys to direct it. Like one or the other or both. Like David Leitch doesn't even direct the John Wick films anymore. It's all Chad Stahelski, but he's still executive producer on it because he was co-creator. Well, anyway, like in this article, he pretty much breaks it down as, we understand action. That's why we're so good at it. Mm-hmm. The other aspect of it is all these other people start planning the movie out 6 weeks in advance. He plans 6 months in advance. Keanu Reeves plans 6 months in advance. They're teaching their guys how to run through traffic and get hit by cars and do all this. And Keanu's right there with all of them. So there's a scene in the new one where there's 8 lanes of traffic, and I thought it was green screened. It's not. When cars are driving by Keanu Reeves, he has to hit his mark, or he's going to get hit by a car.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and dude, I'm talking like Joe. Tell Tino like we're talking like just hundreds of cars going by them. You know, like and you know, I'm sitting there sitting next to my buddy Chris from Ruckus, and I'm like Chris, you how do you put in for insurance on that? Like when your car gets hit by a hitman and just breaks the windshield and like damages the front hood, you know, like how do you put in the claim, you know? So, but obviously after I saw it the first time, I was like, is it really that good, or was I just like ready for a film like that? And it's almost 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And the original cut was 3 hours and 45 minutes long.
It's one of those Superman. What was it? The
Justice League. Yeah. Well, I hope that they actually do put the longer version out, on streaming or whatever. And here's why. Because the hour that they cut out is world building. It enhances the universe of John Wick. Like Lance Reddick was amazing, even for the short amount of time you see him in these films. Ian McShane is friggin' phenomenal in them. Lawrence Fishburne is sitting there saying something from like King Lear at the beginning of this movie, and you're like, what? That's just awesome. But then you also hear that Keanu Reeves, and I know that we got a lot to talk about, so we'll get into it. Obviously, I still also want to hear what's going on with you. But Keanu Reeves actually took the script of this movie, guys, and cut his entire dialogue down to 380 words. Because if you think about it, John Wick isn't a man of a lot of words. He's a man of action, right? So what's really cool about it, though, is that in the same interview that I read, Stahelski basically says, like what I have written on the sheet of paper that Keanu's supposed to read and what Keanu actually delivers are two completely different things. Yeah. Lawrence Fishburne, every time you talk to him, he says it differently. So it's like, he goes, let me try it this way. No, let me try it this way. No, let me try it this way with a little inflection in my voice. And he and with the Bowery thing, he always, oh, Jonathan, blah, 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 as I live and breathe, John Wick, I love that line,
Sound like the damn, the Poison Ivy, you sound like Clayface.
As I live and breathe. I love him. But he basically said about Keanu, he's like, you go through these moments where like you have like 2 lines of dialogue for him, and it's like full sentences that he's supposed to say. And Keanu looks at it, then he looks at the screen and just goes, yeah. And you're like, that's all we need? Like I'm thinking I'm back. Okay, like not a great line of dialogue, but people are complaining, saying that Keanu's not a great actor. But most of these people would actually have to say all of these words to convey the same thing that he conveys.
Yeah.
So that to me makes him a better actor.
Yeah.
And there aren't many people that would be able to do this role. Do I think that Tom Cruise could do it? God, no. Do I think Tom Cruise would want to do all the stunts himself? Absolutely. I saw the Reacher movies. They were garbage. They were hot garbage. The Reacher show was actually really good.
I haven't watched the Reacher movies.
Have you watched the show? It's got the guy that played Hawk from Titans as Reacher. Okay. So I mean, a super jacked up dude with like no real personality. But if you read the books, Reacher's not supposed to have one. So anyway, Tino, we got a lot to talk about, but we always talk about what's up with you.
Not a whole lot. Like I said, I was thinking we had a show. So supposed to have a show this past Saturday, right? So I get there to the place, and
there's no show.
No, there's 2 guys already set up. They're full of. I'm like, the fuck? And I look on the board behind him, and my name's not on that board. I'm like, so I'll get my phone. I'm like, yeah, I'm supposed to be here. I called dude. He goes, oh, I double booked. He goes, don't worry, I'll still pay you. I'm like, all right, cool. But I had to go back Tuesday because, I talked to the bar manager. She was real cool. She's like, can you come back? She said, because by the time I pay the band, then I got to pay my staff. I'm not going to have enough. I'm like, I'm cool with that. I'll go back. It was in Clayton. It was a pain in my ass, but
sure.
I went back and and they paid me cash. I was like, yeah. So I did that. Wow. Let's see. So I've been trying to figure out a graphic design person. I'm like, I want a logo. I want a logo for the band. And then my youth pastor, that's what he does. I'm like, and he did all the ones for the church. I'm like, well, how much would you charge for you? Nothing. So he's going to come up with a logo for me. So I'm excited about that because I'm gonna get a banner. I'm gonna get shirts and bumper stickers and all that stuff so I can throw out swag. Because I told you this year is gonna be the year I'm gonna have a banner. We're gonna get the band. I bought lights. We're gonna do all that stuff, and we've already started talking about going into the studio. Because when you said that, I'm like, yeah, I do want to do that. So we're gonna
because you turned the big 5-0 this year.
So probably not just maybe 5 songs to say I did it. But one of them will be for us. So I already got that. I got that in the works coming too. So I don't know when, but it'll be this year.
Cool, because if you don't, I'm gonna have to talk to our boys at Fear State and get them to do a song.
Fear State.
Yeah, man. My buddy Bernie, who runs Dragon Slayer Comics in Fayetteville, he's in a band now. They're actually playing Fayetteville Comic Con.
Cool. What kind of stuff they play?
Harder.
Yeah. I don't think we're harder. What I have in mind, I think is gonna.
Oh, I'm hardcore.
Whatever.
I'm hardcore.
So this week we're chilling. WrestleMania's coming up this weekend. Cole and the kids are out for spring break next week. Next week's Nicole's birthday, so we'll probably chill to Thursday. I think Friday we're talking about going to the beach or something for the day. But
Nicole's the 6th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom's the 7th.
Yeah, so and that's about it, man. Just chilling, getting excited. I think I'm more hype about mine. I can't wait to see what the logo's gonna look like because he's like, just give me an idea which one. He showed me all these. He had like different bands. He's like, just pick 2 or 3 that you like. So I'm like, I like these. He was okay. I got an idea of what I'm doing. I'm like, go for it.
Well, Edge does that stuff too.
Chris Edge.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about that. Now I'm what he charged me.
Well, he just started a new business, but I mean I sent him what I'm doing for the new Immortal logo, and he took that and made it look like something out of like Mortal Kombat, the video game, and I'm like,
maybe he can make us a logo for his show.
Ooh.
And we can put him on. I was going to ask you when we get off. I want to get one of those jerseys you're talking about. I do want to do that, but I don't see we can get one without the numbers on it. Like, do you have to have?
Oh no, you don't have to get the numbers. So folks, we're talking about getting Potsy and Tino show baseball jerseys.
Yes, and I will do that.
And
it's like 26. It's not under 30.
No, they're not. That's where they get you.
It's more expensive.
Well, so the jersey itself that says team name is $26. When you get embroidered on there, Potsy and Tino show, that's like another $15.
Okay.
And then each of those other spots say, do you want the numbers? Do you want the numbers on the back? And I kind of thought it'd be cool to get our names on the back and then get a number on the back. Like I was thinking I'd get 77 because that's the year I was born.
I was 73,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, like if you wanted to do your month of birth, or whatever. Or we could even look up the very first time we did the show and get one with the month, one with the year.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
We could do something like that, but I seriously, I was like, and you can even they can do logos on the arm and everything, but I was like, we don't really need that. Like if it and I really like that black one with the red writing on it. So, but doing the math on it was like $53 before shipping.
That's not bad, still.
No, not if it's the quality they're saying it is.
Yeah,
and that's well, and I didn't order them yet because I was like, well, what size are you? What size,
I don't you don't know if they run large or smaller.
I don't know.
I mean, ordered larger.
I haven't bought a baseball jersey in ever. bought a hockey jersey more, recently, and a football jersey.
I like football jerseys, yeah.
Yeah, so
they have those too, football jerseys.
They have all of them, and I mean they had all different kinds of color schemes and stuff. So like they had the one I really wanted was the black one with the red writing on it, but then it looked like there was blood coming down the shoulder.
Outsiders.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Except it looked more like knife hatching.
Yeah.
So Tino, going on with me right now.
Oh yeah.
I told you, I think I told you off air, but I did finish the plotting of the 3 issues of the book with Michael Adams. He sent me artwork today, so it's not colored or anything yet, but he was like, I'll probably have the first issue drawn within the next 2 weeks.
Oh damn.
And I'm like, sweet, because I'm pretty excited about it. And now that I've got pages of artwork, I can sit there and start writing out the actual dialogue and everything else for it. So I'm pretty happy with that. Got more pages of Immortal this week, so I started coloring those. And that's so right now I'm trying to think, when it comes to comic book projects, what do I want to make the next one? And obviously this being the pro wrestling show, the one that I'm working on with the co-creator, I'm the creator of Junior High Horrors, but the artist of Junior High Horrors, who is the co-creator on this project, he said he finally got moved into his new place with his family and everything. So we're probably going to start working on that. First issue's fully written. Nice. This is the one that I let Sean Cruz read, and he was like, "Dude, it's incredible." And I was like, "That's what I like to hear." I like hearing, I was really worried with the book that I just finished the plotting on that there was some lulls in there and some boredom spots, and Michael came back and he was like, "Dude, this is awesome. I can't wait to draw all this."
I'm trying to I'm listening to get the stand and deliver thing.
Gotcha. I'm really excited about for what's coming up. I don't have any release dates or anything, but guys, keep in mind, a lot of these new projects are going to be on either Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever, so that way we can try to make the creators some money on the books.
Okay.
And we're also going to try to with the one with Michael Adams, I'm definitely going to try to send it into other publishers and see if anybody bites on it.
So King Spot wouldn't bite on it, or?
Oh no, they already want it. It's just they've actually given me the okay to try to shop it around.
So could you do that? Could you have King Spot do it and another? So okay.
No. So when the publisher's involved, they're the ones doing it.
So why would they tell you to shop it out then?
Because he's totally fine with me doing that, knowing that I'm going to continue working with him. So the idea is, if I go to a bigger publisher and the bigger publisher wants it, then all my old stuff will get another bump in terms of people going, "Oh, this guy wrote this, and this."
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, King Spot sales go up, right?
Got it.
So, so that
makes sense.
Yeah. So that's why that's the plan there. And then I guess convention wise, it's now official. Fayetteville Comic Con, April 22nd, 23rd. I will be there. I'm doing portfolio reviews for anybody that wants me to take a look at their artwork. I'm doing submissions if people actually want to bring, actual submission kits with them to say, "Hey, are you guys taking books?" That way I can take a look at them, see what they look like, and try to get some new people making comics, right? After that, May 26th through 28th, which I believe is Memorial Day weekend, I will be doing something fucking crazy. I will be doing not only Carolina Fear Fest, which I've done the last 3 times they put that show on.
In Raleigh.
Yes, at the Jim Graham building. And I will also be doing a live drawing on the stream for Animazement. So I will be at Animazement on Saturday in the morning.
Where's that?
Also in Raleigh.
Is that the Jim Graham building?
No, that one's going to be at the convention center.
So that's not Fairground still, is it? Oh, hell. So how are you going to do that?
We'll figure it out. Both of them seem really cool about it. They were both like, hey, we understand that you got obligations with other things. We're cool with you, you know, like with Fear Fest, Billy will be at the table, so I don't have to worry about the table there. With Animazement, it's really, I'm literally going for like an hour to do a drawing session or whatever, you know, and they're gonna have a camera above me actually watching as I draw. And I was basically told I'm not gonna have like an audience or anything, so I won't have to answer questions or anything while I'm doing it, but I'll be on their live Twitch stream.
Do you get paid when you do these conventions and animes and?
Sometimes.
I was curious about that. I'm like, you like you go all the way to California.
Yeah, so California, and you know, like I'm trying to work out the details for San Diego Comic-Con. I almost want to do a GoFundMe to get me out there. I want to do the show. I've pretty much already said that I'll take a hotel room and everything. So I've got to figure out the paying on all of it and see if anybody else wants to go out there with me. So most shows, I don't have a fee that I charge, right? If they ask me if I want to go to the show, like for example, June 10th, which is a Saturday, a show in Wilmington actually just asked me if I wanted to be there. And they were like, do you want to be a guest at the show? And I was like, I'll do it, but I gotta have a hotel room and I gotta have the table. Like you take care of that. And so am I being paid to show up? No, but technically they're covering whatever the cost of the hotel is and they're covering the table costs. So
you just pay for gas and food.
Yeah. Okay. And you know, but other shows, yeah, I do get paid to even show up.
I just always curious about how that works.
No, so in fact, normally it works the opposite way. So like until you make a name for yourself and they start inviting you and actually saying, hey, you're on the featured guest list, and they actually like pay you to show up or pay your hotel or pay for the tables or whatever. You know, like until that happens, you basically pay for everything. So you pay for your hotel, you pay for the table at the thing. And when you're paying for the table at the show, it's like, if it's a 2-day show, it could be $400, you know? So, and that's where the problem always comes in with this stuff is that like, for someone like me, where I have $6 comic books, and Joe knows this, because when I met Joe out in Lexington, you know, like he came up and was like, just give me one of everything. You know, because he was like, you got to pay for your stuff, right? And luckily that weekend, I almost didn't bring anything home because, I mean, I sold out of almost everything that weekend. But like, you know, there's some shows where like I go to them, and let's take, for example, most shows in Raleigh. Like, I'm from here.
Yes, yeah,
so I don't make a lot of money at the shows because people already own it.
Yeah.
What I really like about those shows is they come up to me and they ask for me to sign the books that I'd already written. And that they had bought. So, you know, that makes me feel good. I really like when that happens. But I don't mind selling the books at the shows either. It's just like right now, I'm one of those guys that brings my entire setup with me.
Yes.
You know, so like I bring 2 racks that I can put comics on. I bring my banners, and I got to cart it all in myself. I got to cart it all out myself. You know, and like, even if I get a friend or like my buddy Mark, if Mark goes with me to the show, Mark helps me set up and tear down, but like, he's not getting paid to do it. You know, he's like, yeah, I just want to hang out with Potsy. Okay, cool. You know, whatever. But like, I'd like to get to the point where I'm making enough money to bring somebody else with me so that they can do all that.
Yeah.
And they get paid to do that. And then I just sit there and enjoy the show, you know, like, and some of the shows I'm finally starting to really enjoy. Like, I always enjoy it, but like, being able to like relax while I'm at the shows, and that's what I really like. So like San Diego last year, I thought I got to relax a lot more. I didn't have to do any of the setup at the table. I didn't have to set up the banners. I didn't have to do any of it. Like, and that was because the publisher actually paid for the booth and everything else. And now I paid for my hotel room. I paid my flight. So I mean, like, getting out to San Diego last year was $2,500.
I remember.
You know, and then it's all the food, all the nightlife, you know, and so I enjoyed it, but it was like a Disney vacation by the end.
Yeah.
Without Disney. But yeah, so I got those. I got Heroes Con now is official in June, which is the one in Charlotte. One of my favorite shows. I mean, all of these, like most of the shows that I'm doing this year are shows that I really like doing. People ask me and invite me to other shows, then yeah, I'll go to them. Like the one in Wilmington, like, you know, it seems like a smaller show, but like a couple people from Wilmington have actually been like, Rob, you ever coming out to Wilmington to do a show? Well, now I am, you know. So yeah, so there's that. So I've got a show in April, 2 shows in May, technically 2 shows in May because Animazement and Fear Fest, 2 shows in June, and then right now San Diego planned. So
Nice.
And then towards the end of the year, I would say October, I've got Fayetteville planned again. And then probably if NC Comic Con's actually coming back in November, then I would probably do that one. And that one either be Durham or Raleigh. So pretty full. I'd love to do, there's 2 other conventions that I'd love to do this year. I'd love to do Baltimore Comic Con. I'd love to do New York Comic Con. Both of those would be indicative of me actually making money at some of these other shows. So we'll see. But yeah. The cool thing is that I plan to have new stuff at almost all of these shows.
That's awesome. That's gonna be cool.
You know, and even if it's not published yet, like the one with Michael, he said, Rob, I could probably have the first issue done in 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay, well, I could probably, you know, remember the little Mandalorian books that I did? I could probably do up a bunch of those to be able to sell, and they called those ash cans.
Yeah.
Do a bunch of those until the book's actually ready to come out. That way people can start getting excited and hyped up about my next project. So we'll see. Got some stuff there. And then, like I said, Eric's almost ready to start working on a book. Rob actually sent me more artwork from Immortal. So I've been coloring that. I started coloring some other covers for Teen Spot. Looks like they went with another person, more professional. The guy's stuff looks amazing. Me, I'm still learning. I'm still teaching myself how to do it. My stuff looks good. I joke that I try to make stuff pop on the screen, so not necessarily, you know, when it comes out on the paper. You know, I want it to pop off the page. I don't necessarily care all the time about like where the light source is really supposed to be. You know, like sometimes something shines and it's not supposed to shine, you know, but it's really done because I want it to have like something that just makes someone go, what's this?
Right.
You know, and sometimes that means you cheat. You know, you don't do it correctly. You don't put the light source in there right. You know, little things like that. But I took what the other guy did and I looked at mine and I was like, yep, his was better, you know. But I'm still learning. You know, this guy's probably been doing this professionally for years and I'm sitting here like not even a full year into doing coloring work.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if you saw my Facebook post, but I said I'm very protective of my work.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Well, no, nothing really bad. It was just that I was protective of it. I was like, I think mine's really good. I think it's, you know, and then I saw the other one and I was like, okay, this is better. But a lot of it was like the same type of stuff. It's just his looked done. And mine looked like it was still in the mid process, which it was, because I sent it to the publisher and said, are we talking about something like this? And then all of a sudden I got feedback from the co-writer on the book or whatever. And I was like, yeah, that's way too much feedback. Like, I don't feel like even reading that right now. Like, I'm still working on it. I don't feel like reading his feedback, you know? So my ego came in and I'm like, and it made me realize, and this is why I said that, like, the way I wrote the line, because I was talking to Chris Edge about it. The way I wrote the line was, you know, like what this other guy's artwork did was it flowed with the art. So like if you were a boat, it was flowing down the river, right? Mine was like, my coloring is trying to lead the art in a direction.
Okay.
And the art's already there. It doesn't need to be led in a direction. I need to follow the direction.
Right.
And that's where like when it comes to comic book stuff, I need to check that ego, especially if it's work for hire. If I'm doing work for somebody else and they're paying me to do it, I basically got to go, what do you want? Okay, let me keep working on it, you know, and that's it. But you also got to, you also have to be talked to correctly too. And I don't like I'm willing to sit there and get a little back and forth just to get to the right thing. But at the same time, like, I'm doing it at a bargain for them. So I deserve to be talked to a little bit nicer. You know, like, hey, I know I could get more money if I really said, hey, this is what it's going to cost this time. But I'm like, nah, we'll slow it in there. So, anyways, all right, that's about all that's going on with me.
So you finally got your game. When your game come in?
It came in the next day.
Oh. You were complaining a bit, and I was playing it. You're like, I was got mine.
Well, okay, so what Tino's talking about, everybody. This game right here. I know you can't see the guy on the cover, but WWE 2K23. He went to the shop. He bought it. I ordered mine online from GameStop.com and got it delivered. Here's the thing. When I worked there, if you pre-ordered and ordered it, it got to your house on day one. If it's not getting to me on day one when I pre-order it, what's the point of pre-ordering it? You know, did I get my Bad Bunny content? Yes. I started thinking about it though, and I'm kind of pissed off that I did that version of it. Like I now I'm sitting there going, I should have bought like the $100 version because it unlocks all the characters like instantly.
Yeah.
You know, and that would have been nice. Like now I have to sit there and go through and play all that and whatever. What do you think of the game?
I like it.
So
the new thing with the whole having to hit like when you're pinned. Before you just hit the X.
You can switch it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, you can switch it, but I like it.
I do like it. I'm used to it now.
And I've gotten a lot better at being able to kick out like that, you know, even before a one count. It's like
yeah. You got to watch it like boom. Okay, I'm out.
But the one thing I don't like is that I feel like the collision detection with the ropes is worse. Like if you're outside the ring and you go to get in the ring, last year's game I kind of felt like if you try to hit the guy, you would actually hit him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gets back in the ring and then he's got to like get himself up and then you can hit him. Yeah. And it's like how did they regress there?
And then where now you don't roll out of the ring, you roll towards the ropes and you pulling yourself up on the ropes.
See, I'm okay with that because that's what they do.
Yeah.
And it depends. It's like if you hit the button to run, that's when he slides out of the ring. If you don't, then but if he can't slide out of the ring, then he just grabs the ropes or whatever, which I'm cool with. I think it adds more realism to it. The game's good.
Mm-hmm.
I played the multiplayer with Shavar.
Okay.
Online. It is not intuitive at all to like figure out how to play against somebody else. You have to on the PlayStation 5, folks, you have to hit the PlayStation like after you start a lobby, then you have to hit the PlayStation button, which pulls up the main menu.
Right.
And the second one says game lobby. And you have to click into it to then invite other people into it. You can't invite people into your lobby in game.
Gotcha.
Which is stupid.
Yeah.
So it took Shavar and me like 10 minutes to figure out how to do it. And when I finally did it, he goes, "How'd you do it?" I was like, "I have no idea." Because the first time I had no idea. And then I was like, "Oh, you got to start the lobby, then hit this, then hit that." And it's like, that's just too much work.
Yeah.
Graphically, I think it looks really good. I like the arenas. I like stuff like that in there.
War games aspect of it. What do you think of that?
War games is good, but you have to remember to turn blood on.
Yeah.
Every time. And if you play women's war games, you can't turn blood on.
Didn't notice that. Wow. Yeah.
Because Tino and I were like, Shavar and I were like, let's go ahead and play a women's war games match. Let's play a women's elimination chamber. Let's do, because we wanted to test everything out. And and he kept trying to put a created version of Mandy Rose in there. And it had the picture and everything for her. But it literally, every time he'd do that, it bounced him out of the game. So I don't know if it's just because like creative characters weren't supposed to be like it, because it's first weekend, they haven't updated the game and everything yet. But
Mandy wasn't in the game.
I was a little surprised she wasn't in the game either, but she's not. So, what's this say? Joe Lowe will be in Raleigh. He's coming at the end of July for GalaxyCon.
Nice.
Yeah, so I told him we'll try to get together and grab a bite to eat. I don't know if you want to come out that night.
If I'm around.
I still haven't taken a sip off that. And then Michael says Atlantic Beach.
What?
Oh, Michael's going to be at GalaxyCon as well. I have to go to GalaxyCon this year because I want to meet Simon Bisley because I've never met him and he's literally one of my favorite comic book artists. And then they announced that Todd Stashwick from Picard is going to be there.
Oh shit! Well, before you get wrapped up into that, let's get into
yes. So all right, folks, we're going to jump into some of the wrestling from this past week. We really don't have to talk about any of the WWE shows, unless you want to.
I can't think of anything I want to talk about.
The one thing I will say about anything WWE this week, I love the WrestleZania shirts,
right,
and the KO Mania shirt, but it should have been KO Zania.
Why?
Why not?
I like the way they did it.
So my honest opinion is they should have offered both shirts. And here's why. Because when they go down to the ring, KO is going to be wearing the shirt. He's just going to have the sleeves cut off. Sammy's been wearing his shirt during wrestling matches, so why not have it where he's wearing the one that says KO Mania, he's wearing the one that says WrestleZania, and you literally have what looks like a real tag team.
Okay.
At the same time, they're both going to be wearing the shirt anyway. But I kind of wanted both options. So I was a little disappointed that, and then once again, I went to order it on WWEshop.com, right? And when I went to order it, it was like, your order should be there by like April 6th. And I'm like, I need it for WrestleMania. So I didn't order it, and now there's no way to get it in time. Right. But I was pissed off too because it was like $40 for that shirt.
Rob's gonna get that shirt.
And it was like $40. So I'm like, no, because $40 plus shipping, because they don't ever give you free shipping on WWE Shop. Just like AEW Shop. Like what makes these two shops think, oh, we should never give free shipping? Like,
because they know you're gonna buy it.
Fuck it, I'll just start making my own KO Mania shirt. I'll make Potsy Mania and wrestle Tino. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But no, Monday Night Raw. The one thing I did want to mention. We should probably, with SmackDown, let everybody know that Rey Mysterio finally hit his son.
Hell yeah.
But he didn't hit him. He just pushed him.
No, he hit him in the head.
Oh, did he? Did he when he finally hit him?
Yeah. Oh, because he told his mom to shut up, and Ray came down there, and he came. He
the pushing of his sister was completely fine.
He punched him in the fucking top of the head and knocked him down.
It would have been great if he got in color.
Yeah.
If he had John Moxley's Play-Doh face, there would have been color everywhere on that.
That's on Stacy Keibler's going to be.
And Tim White.
I didn't see Tim White.
Tim White is getting the Warrior Award this year, posthumous Warrior Award. Right. Yeah. But he, as far as I can tell, he becomes the first referee in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Because they were saying it was going to be a referee. A lot of people thought it was going to be Little Nate.
Charles Robinson,
or maybe one of the Hebners.
See, I still think that the Hebners, they got bad blood with the family.
Yeah, so that wouldn't make sense for Little Nate because he's been there
ever since WCW merger.
Yeah, dude. I don't think that I've ever heard him having trouble with the company, with the McMahons or anything. He's just
which is weird because if you look back at all the people that came over from WCW, like Nick Patrick,
yeah,
they're gone. Like none of them work there anymore.
Teddy Long I don't think he ever came. Did he come over to WWE as a manager? Or he come over as a? I think he did ref some matches.
He definitely refed.
Yeah.
But Teddy Long's in there not necessarily for being a referee. Like Tim White was only a referee.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was the referee of the Hell in a Cell matches. Yeah. Actually got injured during one of them, which is why he actually
let them
retired.
He let them
fuck up his bar. And you always heard those stories. Like so everybody that doesn't know, Tim White's bar the APA would go in there and they'd destroy the place, and then Vince would come in like a week later with new TVs and everything.
Everything. And also he wasn't the one where he kept him and was it him and God, who was that? Where it's like, no, Mr. White, no. He kept trying to kill himself. Who was that?
Oh yeah, he kept trying to electrocute himself and everything.
Who was that announcer? Oh, was it Josh Matthews? No. He was like, no, Mr. White, that's not wise, Mr. White.
Was it Tony Chimmel?
No, it was an announcer, dude with the glasses. I don't think it was Josh Matthews. It might have been Josh Matthews.
Anyways, it was probably Kevin, what's his face?
No, it was the young guy with the glasses, the nerdy dude. No, Mr. White, that's not wise.
Then it was probably Josh Matthews.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of them are going into the Hall of Fame. So this year's Hall of Fame class, much smaller than years past. And I think a lot of it's because they couldn't finalize certain things in time. Like Dave Bautista, everybody thought he was actually going to officially go in this year. But with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 coming out, it kind of made sense to put him in there this year because that would. I don't think so. No, it would have made sense.
Yeah.
It would have made sense. But no, now nobody else is going. I don't think. They might do they normally did a couple extra like specialty people would get in. But so the classes Rey Mysterio, Stacy Keibler, Great Muta, Andy Kaufman,
yes, and
Tim White.
And it seems like they're just throwing people because they wait till the last fucking minute.
Well, okay, so Rey Mysterio actually being from San Diego kind of makes sense to do it out in LA.
But usually they have. I think he's the first wrestler that's gone in while he was still on the active roster. Because usually they wait till they retire or.
Technically, Flair did because Flair wrestled the night after.
Yeah, but I mean, Rey's still going strong.
Is he still going strong? Because rumor is that he's planning on he's planning on wrapping up. Like I think that this storyline with Dominic's going to continue much longer than. Like I think he wanted it originally to culminate at WrestleMania, and now they're sitting there going, "Dom's the second hottest heel in all of wrestling." So it's like, how do you just go? Yeah, I'm done after that one. No, I think they probably ride out Dom versus Rey until SummerSlam, and that's where he retires. And that's if he wants to retire. You got to remember, like when we were watching Rey Mysterio in the '90s, Rey Mysterio was like 18 years old. Yeah. Like I think he's 39. I don't even think he's that old right now. So
he might be early 40s.
And even if he is, it's just he took a couple years off, and when he came back, he didn't have his knee braces on anymore, and he was in better shape. So it's like and that this whole thing with Dominic's kind of like rejuvenated him.
Yeah,
like they both seem like they're itching for it. But I did want to mention one other thing about Monday Night Raw, and that specifically, Solo Sikoa got his first loss on the main roster.
A lot of people were pissed.
I'm not.
No, he needs them. Yeah.
I
think they're pissed that it went to Cody.
I mean, technically, KO's beaten him. He just didn't pin him.
Mm.
So this is the first pinfall loss on the main roster. And I don't think anybody should be upset at that because it was the ultimate disrespect FU move to Roman Reigns that he took his cousin and pinned him in the middle of the ring 7 days before they face each other, or 6 days before they face each other. Which is the ultimate way of saying, hey, KO and Sammy are going to beat your cousins. I beat your cousin. Now I'm coming after you, right? So I thought it was well done. It kind of had the go home feel this time of like an Austin and Rock, and like when all of a sudden you get a big clusterfuck of people running down. And I like that because I don't really think they've done that in a while.
I think they're gonna do it again because he's going to SmackDown. So I wonder if they're gonna have
they're gonna have a face to face, and I wouldn't be surprised if it ends in blows. But so far they've kept Roman and Cody apart. There's been no fisticuffs. So if they do decide to go to blows, someone's got to get color.
You just want somebody to get color.
No. But think about every time they have those breakaway brawls. Someone always ends up with a fat lip. Someone always ends up with a busted eye. And it just adds to the legitimacy of how much they hate each other. You know, and now they're talking about, well, if they want to keep Gunter away from Cody for a while, because I told you I think Gunter very likely could walk out of WrestleMania still as the Intercontinental Champion. And then when they finally do face each other, which I think is a SummerSlam match, I think Gunter just takes the belt with him into there, and then the next time on SmackDown has to relinquish the belt because he's world champion.
Wow.
I think that's where you would want to go with that story. So
Cody doesn't hold it long.
No, I mean that'd be 5 months.
Okay.
But on top of that, like the heater there, the person to keep Cody hot. What if it was Dom Mysterio? Hold on. We're talking about family. We're talking about legacies. We're talking about all this stuff. What if Dom's the one that he doesn't win, but he keeps Cody busy for a little while? It's an interesting thought.
Hold on, I'd rather that be Solo or maybe LA Knight.
We're going to talk about what I think is going to happen with LA Knight here shortly, but because there's rumor that Stone Cold Steve Austin has the glass shatter. He comes down during LA Knight's trying to do something, and he just gives him a stunner and then has a beer bash.
Oh, Jesus.
Which I'd be okay with.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives the kid the rub. Anyways, anything else from SmackDown, Raw? No. Okay. We do have one other show that we got to get to before we actually do all the predictions, but we are going to go through this pretty quick. Did you just break something?
No, it's a cover.
Oh, okay.
So I don't break it.
Gotcha. So Dynamite last night. What did you think of the show?
Confused. The Kenny Omega thing. Are they going to turn him against
Don Callis?
Yes. And is Don Callis in cahoots with the
Definitely not after he got punched by Jon Moxley.
I don't know though.
Well, see, and I know what you're thinking there, and I kind of agree with you. So folks, last night Dynamite, the Blackpool Combat Club comes out and beats Dalton Castle and the boys. In probably one of the worst camera worked wrestling matches of all time. I mean, you could film on a camcorder and it would still be better than the way that match was filmed.
Yes.
It was horrible. Moxley's outside the ring. Moxley didn't get colored.
I'm about to say
he did not get his.
It must not have been the wind. Must not have been blowing.
He didn't pour any water on his head that opened up the Play-Doh.
No. He said, make sure there's no wind, no air circulation in this building. Can't afford it tonight.
You can't have somebody miss with a punch and have the little wind hit him.
Yeah, no, none of that.
But before that, obviously we had
I'll be getting a tornado, gonna bleed to death.
Like it's just gonna.
Yeah.
He's gonna look like one of the characters from The Last of Us. One of the clickers.
So what do you think of this whole? It's so stupid. This Jade and Taya battle of the finishers, because hers is jaded. Taya's is the.
Is it the same move?
Yeah, it's Road to Valhalla. Taya's been using that for years. All of this is the Glam Slam, really, pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
But
I thought it was the Widow's Peak.
The Widow's Peak, she hits you from behind.
Oh, right. Yeah, this is the one where she picks you up and then
it slams on your face.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really care. I love the fact that they have no storyline ideas for Jade at all. That they have to bring a new wrestler in every 2 weeks for her, and then every other week she just wrestles the same 3 girls.
I think Taya's gonna win that one. What I do want to talk about, this happened last week. And if it had happened to me, that shit would have went from a work to a shoot. When that motherfucking ass boy spit in old boy spit, and he saw it just fucking because he went. I'm like, no, I don't care if it's scripted. I'm going to the table. I'm getting a fucking ring bell. I'm fucking somebody up.
Yeah,
Tony Khan would have fired me that night. I'd have fucked everybody up.
And no ass boy is.
I'd have fucked everybody up.
So is that the FTR that he did that?
Yeah, he did it. He did it.
So FTR's contract's up. Like they're
fighting for like what out of contract.
Well, I think they said it was up at the beginning of April. And if you listen to FTR, they said we've made our decision about what we're going to be doing. But if you notice their match against the Ass Boys, if they lose, they're out.
Yeah.
Now, that's perfect if you've already re-signed and everything else, because it's like you could totally use that like CM Punk did before Money in the or Money in the Bank.
No, it was wasn't Money in the Bank. Where he took the belt and went and left.
Yeah.
Well, the crowd. I don't think that was Money in the Bank.
I thought it was.
It might have been.
But anyway, so the whole idea there, like, I love the fact that they've got that possibility, but FTR also keeps posting pictures of them with CM Punk. And we know what happened with CM Punk last week. We didn't talk about it because we didn't do a show.
Yeah.
It's okay, though, because everyone else talked about it for the entire, 7 days. If we think about what FTR could do, let's say they have not signed a contract yet. They could go to New Japan, where they would be kings of the world.
Yep.
They could go back to WWE because Triple H is high on them.
Yep.
They could sign with AEW and stay there, because technically they've been taken care of okay there. They've been very egotistical about how they feel they've been treated, but they're on TV when they want to be on TV. They've won 4 different championship belts. They were allowed to go travel the world and face other teams in different companies.
The tag team version of MJF.
No, I think they're the tag team version of CM Punk. Because I think they're becoming very. The one with the mustache is becoming very vocal.
That's Dax.
Yeah, Uncle Dax.
He's the one that got spit on. That's why I thought he was going to kill somebody.
Well, I bet he got spit on because someone didn't like something he said. So I'm not.
Boy spit on him because of
Oh yeah, dude. Like they've been talking mad shit. But there's one other option that they've got. If they're talking about how financial freedom isn't what they're looking for, and they want to wrestle, they could always start their own. Especially if it was being financed by CM Punk.
You think he's got money like that, though?
I think he's got enough to start a small promotion. You might be in bingo halls for a little while, but I mean, GCW is doing just fine.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's those thoughts there. We got. I'm trying to think of what else actually happened. The Blackpool Combat Club stuff. We started talking about it.
Yeah.
John Moxley ends up punching Don Callis in the face.
Busted. I don't know if he busted him hard way or the Callis cut himself.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, it could have been either. I mean, it could have been Moxley's nose bled on him for all we know. The whole thing there. I mean, it's leading to a 4-on-4 match because it's gonna be the Elite and Hangman versus Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah.
I could totally see Don Callis being kicked out of the Elite because Don Callis is a heel and they're trying to push them as the baby faces now.
Or he's trying to take Regal's place. Well,
and I mean, could he? Sure. Nobody likes him though, and everybody likes the Blackpool Combat Club except for Wheeler Yuta.
They're getting booed now, man.
They're getting booed, but that they're getting booed until they do one of their moves that everybody cheers for.
Yeah.
The reason why they're booing is because they're going up against Kenny Omega, who for some reason everybody kisses his ass. We've talked about this. Yeah. He goes out there saying he's from North Carolina, but he's from fucking
North Carolina.
Which apparently is the dumbest reason ever. He just liked that Michael Jackson Michael Jordan always got called in for with the Chicago Bulls announcer. hailing from North Carolina.
Well, it started when they came to North Carolina, and they just kept doing it.
No, they were doing the North Carolina thing at the beginning of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Justin Roberts would say it almost there, and it was always something different. Like, and he once saw a movie in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Whatever. Which is sad because I want to pop for it, you know. And then it's like, but it's Kenny. His match with Jeff Cobb was pretty good. It was fun. I love how he didn't sell his injuries well enough. You know, I am so injured I have to get him on the ropes to be able to pick him up, but then I can easily just knock him down with one winged angel, no problem. And then okay.
Did you watch the All Access?
I did, but let's talk about
the one from last week. I don't know why they showed it again.
Was it?
Yeah.
They showed it last week? Oh, they showed it after like Rampage. Yeah. Adam Cole's match.
Baby.
What did you think?
I thought it was a good match. I thought that I didn't like it. Didn't hit the pile driver. Did not look protected. I'm sure it was, and he did his job. He made it look nasty. I don't. If you're coming back from a concussion, I don't like dropping on your head at all. Because even if he had that,
ease into it.
That could have gone wrong.
Do it at a pay-per-view.
He could have fucking Owen Harted or Stone Cold his ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't say anything, Siri. But that I didn't like. I didn't like the pile drivers, and then he did it on the they didn't do it on the floor or on the hard part of the ring. He did it somewhere.
He did it on the corner, yeah.
I'm like
no. on the side of the ring.
The Jericho thing makes maybe because he's jealous that Cole's getting the spotlight. Why Jericho come out there?
Oh, just the idea that Daniel Garcia was going to have that match. I was like, so someone, I think it was Terrence, said to me, he's like, why is Daniel Garcia going to face Adam Cole? And I'm like, because they're setting up Jericho.
But why? Well, that's
why not? Him and Adam. I don't think him and Adam Cole have ever had a match, like singles match. They might have been in an Elite versus Jericho Appreciation Society or something, but I don't think they've had a match. So if I was Jericho, I'd be like, I want to work with that guy. And Jericho's protective, so you don't really have to worry about a pile driver or anything against Jericho. I mean, he might try to do a tombstone pile driver. He has done them before, but
I'll be worried about that Max Judas effect.
That's what they'll sell it as, right? They'll be like, oh, code breaker, oh, concussion, oh, Judas effect, concussion. You know, we'll test your metal, Adam Cole. But what I want to know is, how does Adam Cole go from not wrestling for like 9 months to being in the main event?
I think he was
against Daniel Garcia.
I think he was supposed to get pushed before he got hurt.
Oh, he definitely was.
And you know, he's one of their. I mean, he's the main attraction, so they knew it was a ratings thing. Obviously, they want to make sure.
I think it was for the lead in. I think it was for the lead into All Access.
It was the lead into All Access, but they wanted to make sure they got that. People watched the whole time as ratings.
The one thing I didn't like about it was when Jericho did come out, Jericho's music hit right after Adam Cole won the match.
Yeah, because it took away from that moment.
Yeah. Now, what I thought was even funnier was as Jericho's walking Garcia up, and he keeps turning around and stopping and turning around and stopping. They start playing Adam Cole's music again, and I'm like, I'm just waiting for Jericho to be like, "Turn that shit off! Turn that shit off!"
That'd have been hilarious.
And it would have fit his character.
Yeah.
You know, but anyways.
All right.
Yeah, that's all I got for all that stuff. Folks, we're going to go through Stand and Deliver, give predictions on that.
Almost 9:30. Let's do this.
And then we are going to go through the 14-match WrestleMania card. Yeah. So it's going to be fun.
All right. So, Stand and Deliver. How are the fucking dudes?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't care.
Damn.
Pretty deadly.
Yeah, pretty deadly. All right, so we got. See how they're gonna start this off. Well, they start off with. No, let's not start with that one. No. They did the champions first. Let me scroll down to the bottom.
Yeah, whatever you're looking at always seems to have like the championship match first.
Wrestle Talks. I'm surprised. So all right. Let's start with an 8-person tag between Chase U and Tyler Bate and Schism. Now this is for Chase U University. Now Duke has been. I think he's going to cost them to lose because he's sour unless he has a turnaround.
Do you think he could accidentally cause them to lose and then Chase U like sits there and goes, "We know that you did it because you're joining Schism," and then he finally joins Schism because like they
That could be. So you think it'll be a good match?
It'll be a train wreck.
It'll be Ava's first. I think her first match in the ring.
Oh, because it does have women in the ring.
Yep.
So that'll be the highlight of the match or the low light of the match, right? Because even the girl for Chase U,
she's a spaz.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what Ava Rain does.
All right. Then we got
Women's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, that is the next one. Fallon Henley and Kiana James, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn.
At this rate, I almost think that the champs retain.
Yeah.
Even though they absolutely hate each other, and there's definitely like some tension between Brooks and like the one.
Jensen.
Yeah. Well, not between the two guys. It doesn't really seem like there is.
Jensen because Jensen and Kiana are supposed to be.
Because she like made out with them on Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I caught up a little bit on NXT.
The Gallus Boys, Brutus.
The three-way tag team title match.
And Channing and the Don. I think the Don and I think Tony D'Angelo and his boy take it.
It'll be interesting because they're trying to push them as baby faces now, it seems, right?
Yeah.
I think though that they really haven't pushed Gallus enough, and they just won those belts.
Yeah.
So I kind of see them retaining.
Okay. Wesley versus Dragon Lee versus Dragunov versus JD McDonough versus Axiom.
Is it a ladder match?
Yes. Or is it? No, it doesn't say. No.
So it's just a flippy flop guy match.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they go right on with Dragon Lee.
You think?
I mean, isn't it like his first match?
Yeah.
Yeah, so see, like, him starting out there, and he's going to show out. Oh, God.
I kind of say Axiom.
I mean, since they finished the show Tuesday night with Axiom winning his way into it, I kind of agree.
Because I don't think Dragunov and McDonough are done with each other. I think they're going to be too caught up in trying to fight each other kind of thing.
It's not an elimination match or anything either.
No.
So it's just
I can see them
first pinfall or submission victory.
Yeah, I can see them falling out the ring and getting in a fight and just losing. You know what I mean? Losing a concentration on what because they hate each other so much.
Yeah, I think it is time that Wesley dropped the belt.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Like I'll go with Dragon Lee. You're going with Axiom.
Yeah.
Okay. Women's title match?
Yeah, and that's the ladder match.
I think Roxy retains.
Roxy, Gigi, Lyra, Tiffany Stratton, Zoe Stark, and the Hartwell.
Speaking of Gigi, did you see that TikTok I sent you?
Which one?
Where Darby Allin talked about
You didn't know they used to date?
No. Did you watch the video?
Oh, where he put the damn hot sauce in his ass? Yeah. To impress her. They're like, why'd you do it? I thought it'd be funny. Bitch. And she said it was the hottest sauce that they had. I'm like, you're a dumbass.
Well, apparently he's a hot ass.
So you said Rosie?
I think Roxanne, yeah.
I'm almost want to go with Indy.
I think Roxanne wins, but I almost think that she passes back out again.
I hope not. No, yeah. Oh, Grayson and Johnny. What do you think?
God, I want Johnny to win this match.
I think Grayson's going to do it.
Yeah. Like they took a lot of heat off of Grayson by having him lose to Braun Breaker. And Johnny, Johnny doesn't need to win in NXT. So yeah, it's got to be Grayson.
I'll give him the rub.
Well, you know what could happen? Shawn Michaels could come down to the ring. Grayson get into an argument with him. Shawn Michaels kicks him with Sweet Chin Music, and Grayson wins because of disqualification.
That could be too. I don't think so.
Or the referee has a bump.
HBK
HBK comes down and gives Sweet Chin Music, and then Grayson loses because of that. I could see that being the case.
All right.
Although honestly, you know the one person that Shawn Michaels might come in and do a match with would be Johnny Gargano. So if he were to end up turning on Gargano by giving him Sweet Chin Music,
what do you think Gargano?
That dude Gargano would protect the shit out of Shawn Michaels.
You don't think Grayson could?
No. AJ Styles could. Gargano could. Ciampa could.
They're talking about Ciampa when they come back.
Doing DIY again. Yeah.
All right. I think we agree on this one, but Braun and Carmella.
I heard something this week, and it made me start questioning my. I watched NXT on Tuesday night specifically to see if this match was a loser leaves NXT, and it's not. But everyone thinks that Carmelo's ready for the next level already, without even winning the NXT title.
So we were thinking Braun's going up. You think Carmelo's going up?
I'm beginning to think that they may still think that Braun needs a little more.
Wow.
But you know what? I said it after we went to Charlotte to watch it. I will say it now. Yes, Carmelo wins.
Yeah, it's time because Braun's had that thing for.
I mean, his interview this week where he's like, I've held this. I've been holding NXT on my shoulders for almost 2 years. And he's right, at least a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only time he really didn't have the belt was at the beginning when Ciampa had it, and then that month, that month right at WrestleMania last year with Ziggler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's it.
So that's Stand and Deliver, folks. Even though this still said Dynamite, it's okay. I did put this one on here though.
Well, Mania. All right, night 1, night 2.
So, folks, we don't really have I don't think that this is 100% night 1, night 2. But what we're going to try to do is break it down by all the undercard matches on night 1, and then the main events of night 1, what we consider the main events.
Yeah.
Championship matches, and then night 2 we're going to do the same thing: undercard matches, and then title matches.
All right, well, let's just start with this one. Night 1, I'll scroll down to what I think would be you'd consider an undercard, and that is Braun Strowman, Ricochet versus Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders in the men's showcase, which probably means these guys, whoever wins this, I would have to guess would be a
tag team title match. Yeah. Number 1, no way that Gable and Otis win because Otis is probably going to leave him during the middle of the match, and Gable will be like, what? And then he'll get pinned.
Okay.
Who do you think? You said male models are in that match?
Huh?
I said, did you say the male models are in that match?
No. So
okay,
men's showcase.
Thank God.
Strowman and Ricochet, the Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders.
I'm thinking Strowman and Ricochet.
I didn't say the Profits. It's their time. They've got to.
I think the Profits are going to start doing singles matches.
You think they're going to split?
I don't think they're going to split. I just think they're going to start doing singles matches. I think they're going to do like the New Day.
Okay. So you said Roman and Ricochet. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be Strowman and Mini Me.
Sure. The Mysterios.
God, you think Ray has to win this match, which means Dom wins.
But also, you got to.
He cheats to win.
But you got to throw into effect too. Yeah, you got Damian Priest, who I don't think, unless he's in the Andre the Giant. But somehow, Legado is going to come down too.
I think Legado and Del Fantasma could end up turning on Ray. Dude, they were heels, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I respect you, Ray.
Dominic said it again. I wish you weren't my father. You never existed. I wish Eddie was my father.
Vicky Guerrero's not under contract.
We'll have to wait and see.
Dude, I would love for Vicky Guerrero to come down and say, "Come home to mama."
All right, so you say Dominic. I say Ray Ray.
I think Dom wins, but he wins in dastardly fashion.
Becky, Lita, and Trish against Damage Control. I'm gonna go with Becky and company.
Yeah, you bring the legends back and you have them win the match. Like I think that's what you do here. However, I think that one of them, either Trish or Lita, doesn't get the tag, and all of a sudden they start showing like little heel tendencies.
I think that's gonna be Trish.
Yeah, it's kind of what everyone keeps saying.
So I think it should.
But I agree. I think the man wins.
Yeah.
There's just too much star power on that team.
Logan Paul and Seth. Now I have to say Seth because Logan has knocked him the fuck out 2 weeks in a row. And again, go back to my 5-year-old man. If you
Well, yeah, it's the same with Brock and Omos, right? Like the question though is, can Logan Paul continue to lose like every match he's in? He beat The Miz. That's his only win in WWE so far.
At this point, I don't think it hurts him because he's a special attraction. It's not like he's there all the time.
No, I agree. I mean, like Pat McAfee, you don't necessarily expect him to beat Austin Theory, right?
Yeah.
But he did, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He beat Austin Theory. It's difficult because, like, Seth's Teflon. He doesn't need the win. But you also don't want a ton of dusty finishes at WrestleMania. I think as long as Logan Paul gets his streaming move, whatever it is in this match, like, and he gets his 100 million views, I don't think he cares.
Yeah. All right.
Though I could see his brother coming down and knocking Seth out.
Afterwards or
no, during the match.
Okay.
Again, I just don't like the idea of too many dusty finishes at WrestleMania. I'm okay with like one screw job finish, like Ray versus Dom, and Dom gets the screw job win. But I don't want to see like constant interference. I don't want to see constant like disqualifications. I mean, it's Mania. It's supposed to be your the culmination of everything. So
the last three are champions, but I'm gonna start with I guess the undercard.
Cena versus Theory.
Yes. I'm gonna have to go with Theory. I hate to say it.
I think Theory gets himself disqualified so he keeps the championship.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, like I see him coming down, Cena looking like he's got the match won. There's a ref bump, but then the ref sees the interference, or not the interference, but like hitting him with the championship belt.
So you don't think he wins
clean?
Well, even not clean. Even if he does something behind the ref's back and pins Cena.
See, I could see that happening. I could also see Cena winning and then having a match the next night, or not the next night, but Monday night.
Okay.
But I think that the most logical answer is that Theory really doesn't care if he beats John. He just wants to be the forever champ.
Yeah.
So I see the disqualification.
Okay.
So Cena wins, but Theory retains.
And I say Theory. He dastardly cheats. I think he pins him 1, 2, 3, so then he can have those bragging rights.
Sure.
I pin Cena. So that's the way I see it happening.
See, I could see him doing the whole thing where he actually does the "you can't see me," tries to drop the 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena pops up. Cena ends up giving him the or gets him up for the attitude adjustment, and then he like rakes his eyes or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
Let's go with,
especially after Cena buried him on this night back.
All right, we'll do this one first. We'll do Charlotte and Rhea.
Rhea.
You think it's Rhea's time?
I agree. I
agree.
think Triple H is trying to undo what Vince did
with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People
are cheering Rhea.
Although the idea of having a Flair holding the championship up at the end of night one and a Rhodes holding the championship up at the end of night 2 does kind of sound cool. But I don't see it happening.
I think Rhea's got her.
Yeah.
All right. Your boys.
The New Day.
It is the undisputed tag team.
Chaosania.
Yep. The Usos versus Zayn and Owens.
Which should absolutely be the night 1 main event. And I'm going to go even further than just saying because they've been the best story for the last year. It's also the second most important championship going into it because it's 2 sets of championships, just like Roman's is.
Yep.
So, like, it makes sense to be the main event there. KO and Zayn. Obvious.
But how? So you think what do you think it'll be?
I think they hit every single one of their finishers. So I think you get a haluva kick. I think you get a blue thunder bomb. I think you get a package the pop up power bomb. It's not the package pop. He might bring out a package pile driver actually at WrestleMania. And then of course I think he hits a stunner, which has the one go into the corner and then get a haluva kick for the win.
So you think the Usos get to hit a super kick and a 1D?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they'll definitely, like, everyone will hit super kicks. Well, everyone will hit super kicks.
Yeah.
Like the 1D, I could see the 1D happening like to Sammy and Kevin making the save at like 2 9/10,
okay.
Right? But they got to time it just right. I think Solo will be down there for that match.
What the Wise Man? You think he'll hold him off for Roman?
Yeah. Wise man should not be part of that, unless he's sitting there grabbing another referee and telling him to run down to the ring. But that'll be from Gorilla. That won't even be like down at the ring. And maybe they don't have Solo go out there with him. Maybe they have Solo go out with Roman.
They probably have Solo go out with Roman. That would make more sense since he just got beat by Cody on Monday.
Yeah. So,
all right. So we agree. All right. Night 2, we'll do the same thing. They find down the cards because they've got all these champions up top.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see what's everybody else saying. Michael Turner says Lita turns on Becky, but Trish, Lita, and Becky win the match. Austin over Cena. Liv and Raquel win their match.
Yeah, second night.
Rhea wins the title. Cody beats Roman, Kevin, Sammy.
Okay. All right, so we're going to start, since he mentioned that, but that's what we're going to start with. Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, Ronda and Shayna, Chelsea and Sonya, the women's showcase.
I think Ronda's going to be protected during this match because she's
still hurt.
Legit hurt.
Yeah.
So I think Shayna's going to handle almost all of it herself.
So Michael says Liv and Raquel. I was going to say Shayna and Ronda.
I think that Shayna and Ronda makes the most sense, but while Ronda's hurt, it might be better to put it on some baby faces and then have Ronda and Shayna go after them when Ronda's good to go.
So that probably Liv, which I think would make sense too, since Ronda and Liv have the history.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Then we Brock and Omos.
This goes back to your 5-year-old mind.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So go ahead and tell everybody what we both think.
Well, since Brock got owned by Omos
twice,
2 weeks in a row, Brock's going to win that match. Now, I tend to agree with you. Omos is going to fucking dominate him during that match, and Brock is almost going to have to squeak a win out.
Yeah, and MVP will get involved, and don't be surprised to see the Hurt Business show up.
Well, there's rumors out there in the Hurt Business. They want to put them back together to face the Bloodline.
This would be a good way to start it.
Yeah.
You get one upmanship on Brock Lesnar. That's a good way to start your faction.
Here we go. Because I've heard rumors about this.
Edge and Finn Balor?
Yes. So we know Finn's coming back as the Demon.
That's official?
Yeah, because did you see the promo the other night where he's like, "Oh, my demons," and they kept having his face change. So I believe the demon. As much as they talk about his demons, his inner demons, is coming out.
And go ahead and talk about the rumors.
Edge is gonna come out with Gangrel, Brood style. The best theme music in the history. I think that's the best theme music ever. And that entrance.
Well, did you hear the other part of that rumor?
Well, it can't because Christian can't come because he's with AEW.
Well, that's the other part of the rumor is that Tony Khan gave him the night off.
Do you think they're gonna let Christian show up on his competition? Because Vince wouldn't.
So you've been watching WWE Rivals and you've been watching the AEW stuff, or not AEW, but the A&E stuff, right? Really?
I've been watching because remember YouTube.
So this
A&E.
past week's A&E stuff had Renee Paquette on it again, and it was Roman versus Brock.
Okay.
Which, by the way, was an excellent Rivals one, and it was really interesting hearing Brock talk positively about Roman Reigns, like behind the scenes stuff. He's got it. He's got the look. He's got the ability to talk. He's great in the ring. Like it's two hosses in there against each other. And Roman at one point even said during it, he's like, and I know we haven't gotten to that match yet, but Roman sits there and says, when we faced each other at SummerSlam and it was the last time we're going to face each other, that was just the two of us proving that we are so much further along than everybody else in the industry right now. Wow. And you know, Freddie Prinze Jr. at the end of it was like what made it really cool was Brock, after bringing out the bulldozer and lifting climbed up to the top of that spot on the ring and then just put his hands up and thanked the crowd. And that's not something that Brock ever did before. Even when he's a babyface, Brock hates the crowd. Yep. But like we've said it, Brock had been having fun.
Oh, he's still having fun.
The Omos thing, and we've said that we think that that's a Vince McMahon booked match or whatever.
But Brock would have had to agree with it. I think I almost think that, like you said, he said, "I want to work with that dude."
Yeah, I think. Well, Brock looks at people and goes, "I can make money with that guy." Mm-hmm. I mean, he wrestled a match with Finn Balor, and Finn Balor was the one that ended up using his diverticulitis against him in the match. Wrestled a match against Daniel Bryan, and we were like, both of us were like, "Is Daniel Bryan dead?" Like 10 minutes into that match, and then 20 minutes into that match, Daniel Bryan's like flying all over the ring. Of course, that's because we didn't realize he had a 70-minute gas tank.
And his thing with Theory. No, Sammy.
Oh yeah,
was priceless.
It's like, how about you and I go ice fishing up in Canada? He's like, you want to do that? You want to go?
He put the hat on him.
Yeah. So, but the rumor is, and I don't believe it, but the rumor is that Tony Khan did give Christian the night off so that if they wanted to get the Brood back together, they'd be able to do it. Now, normally when Tony Khan says that he's willing to do stuff like that,
he wants something to favor.
There has to be a mention of AEW on WWE television. That's why Billy Gunn didn't actually show up at whatever it was that they did recently. Oh, the DX reunion.
Yeah, because then they said they said he was an office equipment or something. They made some because he's with the. They're like he's doing something with office equipment.
Yeah, the scissors. All right, what's so who wins that match?
Which one was that?
The Finn Balor versus Edge.
I think Edge. They got to bring it home.
Not against the Demon.
Do you don't think Brood Edge can beat the Demon?
I don't think so. I think Edge is also trying to wind down his career, so he's going to start putting people over.
Okay.
I would say Edge probably has a year really left. And even that, he's kind of said the next time they're in Toronto is when he wants to end his career. So,
all right, we're into the champions. First one up, Gunther, Sheamus, Drew.
Oh my God, this is probably the hardest one to predict.
I said Drew, and I say Drew because
he's the least likely to win it.
They They should give him
the world title. Yeah,
since he carried it like we talked about through COVID. He didn't carry it. He didn't get to carry it in front of a crowd.
I agree. I also think that Drew or Gunter has elevated that title to the point where you're like, I mean, this title has prestige.
Part of me wants Sheamus because that's the only title he hasn't won.
So here's where I think it goes. I think Gunter doesn't get pinned.
No. He's not. They're not going to.
So that he can continue to say the ring general.
Yeah. So it'll come between
which allows them to continue a feud.
Yeah.
And then Sheamus can win it.
Okay.
But I also have this theory that Gunter is going to just carry that belt till he goes for the world championship.
I also think they should give it to Drew because they didn't give him his due at the Clash of the Castle. I'm so pissed about that. Yeah. They owe Drew. I mean, you have to give him a title. You give him a world title. Fucking let him, like you said, let him carry the title for a little bit. And
I agree.
And then Sheamus winning off him.
So
Gunther at this point doesn't need a title.
Dude, Gunter is world title ready.
Yeah, he doesn't need a title. So
I mean, he needs to pack on some pounds though before he does it.
I don't know. I kind of like this.
I don't like skinny Gunter, but
fat.
At least he's not Walter anymore.
Yeah,
he's skinny fat.
All right.
Actually, he's probably more fat skinny.
Shut up. We got Bianca and Asuka. I'm saying Asuka. Bianca's had the belt a year. She's had it since WrestleMania last year.
The only reason why I don't think Asuka, and I want to say Asuka, because again, I think Triple H is righting wrongs. The only reason why I don't necessarily think her is because the build-up's horrible. And Bianca's gonna get, like, they both get cheered, but Bianca really gets cheered.
Yeah.
And I think that coming out of WrestleMania, unless Asuka goes full on, what's her no, she's not Bull Nakano.
Yeah.
Kian.
I know what you're talking about.
Is it Kian?
I can't remember.
Her alter persona.
Ingram would know.
He would. Her alter persona, I think, is going to make an appearance, and she's going to cheat to win. I think she's going to go heel. Because so far, she hasn't really been heel. She's been teasing. And her teases are like extremely visual teases of, I got your belt. I got your belt.
The whole thing with she bites the thing and starts drilling, and I'm like, yeah. I think Asuka. I'm going with Asuka. So you're going with Bianca.
Yeah.
All right. We don't even need to discuss this because we both agree. But Roman and Cody.
Roman.
Oh, you're going to stick with Roman?
No.
I'm going with Cody.
I could totally see them keeping the belt on Roman until after 1,000 days.
So Cody loses at Mania?
I could see it.
I can almost see going back to what you said before. Cody wins, but Paul goes, So
you did not read the contract.
So all they would have to do is, if Cody wins the Raw title, Roman keeps the Blue Brand title. That's the title that
he still has it for over 1,000 days. I just don't think they're going to do that.
You don't think they're going to split them?
They want to. And that's why I could see, like, Gunter carrying the Intercontinental belt for long enough to where, like, he beats Cody, but for some reason they say he doesn't win the title and he just makes that the world title.
The Intercontinental title?
Well, he just starts wearing a world title after that, you know, and says, I don't need this one anymore because I have this one now, you know, like, apparently they have approved new belt designs.
Cody's talking about that winged eagle.
Not gonna happen. I could see a hybrid, but they want that giant W out there. So tacky. It's not though.
I get branding and all that stuff.
Dude, the Super Bowl's a giant football.
I just missed a wing eagle. I miss old school. You know what I mean?
And you know, Cody wants it because that's the belt his dad didn't win, right? I get it. I understand it. But when you're talking about branding, one of the best things they did was sit there and do that, because now they give one of those belts to all these champions and they wear it on their like, you know, we won championship parades.
We won championship.
You know, like well, the championship parades, they wear them out to it, and they hold it up, and they're like, yeah, we're the champion. You know, like, you know, if somebody tried to do that with the AEW championship, people would look at it and be like, what the fuck is that thing? Because that is an ugly fucking championship belt.
Oh, come on, I'm not a Triple B. Come on now.
No, the strap is actually kind of nice. The belt, no sir.
No sir. No sir.
So ultimately, the finish the story thing and everything else, like if you're not gonna have Sami Zayn win at WrestleMania and win the world title off of Roman, someone has to. And if you don't do it now, when the fuck are you gonna do it? You know, like this is you have to do it now. Yeah. I could totally see Cody sitting there saying, I don't think it's fair for me to defend 2 championships on on 2 programs. So I'm going to give this one, and it's going to be what the King of the Ring wins or whatever. Like I could see him, going a couple matches with it, because obviously they'd be dumb not to do the next pay-per-view with him versus Roman as a rematch. Yeah.
Backlash.
Or I could see Roman sitting there and, Paul Heyman weaseling the contract to win, and I've been saying that all along. Yeah. Like the fact is that the winner of the Royal Rumble gets to fight for one of the championships. That's what it's always been. So the next night on Raw, all of a sudden Paul Heyman comes out with like 2 police officers. Oh, damn. It's Paul Heyman. I mean, he'd come out, he'd have 2 police officers. Adam Pearce would be coming out going, Paul, what are you doing? And he'd be like, I'm coming to collect my property. The tribal chief sent me here to collect the property. And Cody's sitting there, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know what's going on, because it's got that Jack Swagger list thing going on.
He's got his dad list.
He not as bad as his dad, but yes, he definitely bit his tongue one too many times growing up. But I like the idea of him coming out and doing it on Monday night instead of Friday night, and then having Cody sit there and just be like, and he's like, so I guess you didn't finish the story, Cody, and that keeps the feud going a little bit longer, but they now both have championship belts, whatever. I could see it. It's got to be done really, really well. Otherwise, you're going to have half of your audience sitting there complaining that the one guy doesn't deserve to be the champion. Yeah. But I love it in terms of keeping Roman heel. Yeah. But I also think that as soon as Roman loses, I don't even necessarily think he's going to have the rematch. I think he's just going to go away for a while.
Oh, yeah, because he's been doing it.
I mean, he has, but he's been wrestling like once a month and a half. Yeah. It's just... I'd like to see him showing up more and doing everything, but I get why he doesn't. Yeah. He's in a position where he doesn't have to. Hell, Seth's in a position where he doesn't have to, but Seth didn't sign that contract.
Yeah.
Seth signed a 5-year deal for lots of appearances, just like Kevin and Sammy did. And then Roman went ahead and signed his deal, and it was like,
I don't have to do lots of appearances.
Yeah. I have both belts, but I don't have to show up on Raw whenever. So that's it. Show should be good, man.
So what's the deal with Bray? Because we still don't know.
Apparently it's an injury, but that's I do want to bring that up. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal on Friday night, I think, is going to finish with LA Knight tossing Bobby Lashley out and LA Knight winning it.
Okay.
I think what that's going to do is it's going to cause Bobby to go nuts, and he's going to start destroying him. And he's going to get on the WrestleMania card in a match with LA Knight.
I thought you said Stone Cold.
Well, there's rumors of that. I don't like. Why would Stone Cold? Like, I know Stone Cold owns a place in L.A., so I mean, all they have to do is call him up and be like, $2 million. I'm going to show up and give a stunner and drink some beer.
Shit,
Oh hell yeah! You know, like
$2 million, yeah.
Well, I mean, hell, they apparently paid Floyd Mayweather that 1 year $20 million.
Shit.
So, you know, WrestleMania is that time where you can just sit there and throw money around. You know, like the stock price went up to $91 today. It'll be interesting to see if it actually goes up before WrestleMania or if it goes up after WrestleMania. But the show should be good. The placement of the matches and everything else. The only one that I really worry about, man, is that Kevin and Sammy versus the Usos because the reactions that all four men are getting. I don't like the match. I've said it multiple times to you.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that that's where they're going with this. I don't know. Like, I hope they do the right thing, but apparently they're saying it's a political move where Rhea and Charlotte go on last.
Yeah.
So
we'll have to see.
Do you think Ric Flair comes down with Charlotte?
That would be awesome.
Except you wouldn't have him come down to watch her lose, right? Unless Dominic came down and slapped Ric Flair.
Dominic's got his hands full with Ray. Let's keep it with Ray.
Yeah, because they are doing that match night 1, aren't they? Yeah. All right, folks. I'm gonna let Tino go ahead and
do mine. So you can catch me on the Twitter at HootieFan91. I'm at Instagram SCTino. You can catch us on the Twitter Potsy and Tino, Facebook we're the Potsy and Tino Show. We're here on this YouTube each and every Thursday. Please give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe.
Remember, next week we might not be here Thursday because it's his wife's wedding.
My wife's wedding?
Birthday. Dude, I'm literally on my first drink. I'm so tired after working today. Because I still woke up at the same time I always do. And then I had to work 3 hours later.
Give me your handles.
All right. Rob Pochek on Instagram. Rob Potsy Pochek on Instagram. Rob Potsy Pochek on TikTok. Pochek on Twitter. Rob Pochek on Facebook. Are there other ones? Probably. Yeah, you're probably right. And of course, YouTube, Rob Pochek. Our theme song is always brought to you by Adam's House Cat. We want to thank them for the wrestling song. It's available on iTunes for 99 cents. And I believe way off in the distance out in LA, you can probably hear Stone Cold Steve Austin saying, What? And thank you to Teddy Long for the intro tonight. Folks, great talking with everybody. Thank you for saying it was a good show, Michael. We will see everybody. We may actually do a show after WrestleMania Night 2, depending on how late it gets done, because I cannot take the day off afterwards. So it's a report day at work. No, it's a report day. I thought about it, but they won't let me. So we may try to sit there and just give instant reactions to Night 2. And with that, we are out of here. Thank you so much. We will see you next time. And where is the outro song? I can't find it. Where's the outro song? There it is. Everybody wants to be the nature boy. My hole!